See, people think success is some big grand event with balloons and confetti and music playing. Nope, success is quiet. It starts in silence. It starts when you say, you know what? I may not have it all figured out, but I'm gonna take that first step anyway. That's it. That's the difference between people who do and people who wish. You don't need a full plan to start. You need a made-up mind. You need to say to yourself, I'm tired of sitting on the sidelines watching everybody else play the game. You already got everything you need to take that first step. A dream, a desire, a reason, that's your fire. The rest, you figure it out as you go. You fall, you learn, you stumble, you adjust. That's how it works. Now, I ain't saying it's gonna be easy. Nothing worth doing ever is. But if you wait until you're ready, you'll be waiting your whole life. Because that feeling, that I'm not ready yet, it never goes away, even the best feeling. You think the greats knew what they were doing on day one? No, they just started. Broke, scared, unsure, but they started. See, we think we need confidence to begin. But no, confidence comes after you start. It comes after you mess up and get back up. It comes after you face rejection and keep going. You build it like a muscle, but you can't build nothing if you never move. That business you keep thinking about, that book you want to write, that podcast, that video, that song, whatever it is, it ain't gonna build itself. You waiting for a sign. This is it, this moment right here. This is your sign. You don't need a green light, just go. The road ain't lit up all the way. But when you move, the next step lights up. That's how God works. That's how faith works. And don't you worry about what people gonna say. Folks talk regardless. You start, they talk. You don't start, they still talk. So you might as well give them something to talk about. Let them see you grind. Let them see you build. Let them see you turn nothing into something. And then later, they're gonna say they knew you win. Ain't that funny? Stop waiting, stop second guessing. The dream didn't come to you by accident, it came to you on purpose because it's your assignment. Don't let fear keep you from fulfilling it. Don't let comfort keep you stuck. Life ain't promised, man. Tomorrow ain't guaranteed. But you got today, so why waste it? Just start. Messy, scared, unsure, but start. That's how every legend began, not with perfection, not with certainty. Just with action. You got this. Now go get it. Let me tell you something, and I hope you really hear this with your heart, not just your ears. You keep sitting there talking about, I'm waiting for the right time. You saying stuff like, oh, when the kids grow up, or once I save a little more money, or as soon as I figure everything out, I'll do it. Here's the truth. That perfect time you keep looking for, it ain't never coming, it don't exist. And the longer you keep waiting on it, the more life gonna pass you by. See, life ain't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning how to move in the middle of the rain. The folks who make it, the ones who actually do something with their dreams, they didn't wait for all the lights to turn green before they left the driveway. They got in the car, turned the key, and started driving. They didn't know the whole route. They just knew sitting there wasn't getting them nowhere. You waiting to be ready, and that's the trap. You already more ready than you think. Let me break it down even more real. You think the folks out here building businesses, taking risks, changing lives, you think they weren't scared. You think they had every dollar, every connection, every skill figured out before they moved. No, they just got tired of staying stuck. They said, I might not have it all together, but I ain't gonna let that stop me no more. And that's the moment it changed. See, you don't need perfect conditions. You need a made-up mind. That's it. That's the difference maker. Not talent, not luck, not money. Just a decision that says, I'm tired of talking. I'm tired of dreaming with no doing. I'm tired of watching everybody else live while I just survive. That one decision, that's when things shift. But it starts with you moving, not waiting. And let me tell you, life don't reward the ones who wait the longest. Life rewards the ones who start, who say, I don't know exactly how this gonna work, but I know I ain't gonna sit still no more. You got something inside you that's been begging to come out. That idea, that vision, that goal, it's real. But you treating it like a hobby, not a mission. You treating it like an option, not a calling. That's why nothing's happening. You waiting for permission, but who you waiting on? Your cousin, your boss, your past, somebody who doubted you? Man, forget all that. Give yourself permission Tell yourself, I may not have all the answers, but I'm the only one who can give myself this shot. That's power. That's power. That's ownership. And that's where changes live. Ain't no such thing as the right time. The right time is now. Right in the middle of your mess. Right when your money's funny. Right when you're unsure. That's the time. Because you ain't promised tomorrow. You ain't even promised the next hour. So what you gonna do with right now? Start ugly. Start scared. Start small. But start. The world ain't waiting. And life sure ain't pausing for you to get comfortable. You keep stalling, and that dream gonna turn into regret. And let me tell you, regret weighs more than failure ever will. At least if you try, you learn. But if you wait, you lose. And you ain't meant to lose. You were built to win. But to win, you gotta play. You gotta show up. You gotta move. Even if it's messy, even if it's slow, just move. Just move. So don't sit around waiting no more. Don't let fear dress itself up as wisdom. Don't let procrastination steal another day. The time is now. The start is you. And the moment is already here. Let me tell you the real truth, the kind that don't get sugar-coated on social media. You don't need a blueprint to start. You don't need 10 steps, 5 mentors, and 3 courses before you move. You don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need the courage to take that first step. People out here wasting years of their life waiting on a full plan, waiting on clarity, waiting on somebody to walk them through it. But life don't work like that. You don't get the whole plan up front. You get the next step. And once you take that, the next one shows up. That's how faith works. That's how growth works. See, we done been raised to believe we gotta have it all figured out before we take action. We've been taught to avoid mistakes, avoid risk, avoid anything that ain't certain. But what they didn't teach us is how to move with uncertainty. And that's where the magic happens. That's where the breakthroughs live. In that space where you don't know all the answers, but you keep going anyway. You don't need to know everything. You don't need a degree in business to start a business. You don't need to be a professional speaker to share your message. You don't need to be a master chef to open that food truck. You just need to be willing. Willing to learn, willing to fail, willing to grow. That's the difference. That's what separates the movers from the watchers. One waits for perfection, the other moves with intention. You sitting around trying to get all your ducks in a row, but baby, you ain't even got ducks, you got pigeons and chickens running wild. And you still trying to make it pretty before you start. But what you don't realize is you get clean after you start moving. You don't show up to the gym in shape. You show up broken, tired, out of breath, and you build from there. Life is the same way. Now let me tell you what you do need. You need a made-up mind. That's the most powerful thing you can carry, not a notebook full of ideas, not a phone full of saved posts. A made-up mind, a decision, a line in the sand. The kind of commitment where you say, I don't know how long it'll take. I don't know what I'll face, but I'm doing this, period. When you hit that level, ain't nothing that can stop you but you. See, once you make that decision, your energy shifts, your focus changes. Doors start opening that you didn't even know existed. Why? Because you're finally moving like you believe in it. That's what the world responds to. Not hesitation, not doubt, but certainty. And that don't come from the plan. It comes from your mindset. You might people around you telling you to wait, to be careful, to play it safe. And they mean well, but they don't know what God put inside of you, don't know the gift you carry. So if you keep waiting on their approval or their understanding, you're gonna stay stuck forever. You gotta move even if you're misunderstood. You gotta start even if you're scared. Because this is your race, your calling, your life. So stop waiting on the plan. Start with the little you got. That little idea, that little time, that little skill. Work that, build that, grow it into something. But don't you dare let the fear of the unknown keep you from stepping into your purpose. You don't need the whole road. You just need to move your feet. And once you do, you gonna look back and say, man, I'm so glad I didn't wait. Everybody out here keeps saying they waiting on confidence before they make a move. They say, I just need to feel ready. Or once I get my courage up, I'll go for it. Let me help you with something right now. Confidence don't come first. It don't knock on your door and say, hey, I'm here now, you can begin. Confidence shows up after you've already started walking. After you step out scared. After you do it afraid. That's when confidence kicks in, not before. See, you think the folks who are out there doing big things, standing on stages, running businesses, changing lives, you think they were born feeling? Nah, they were scared just like you. But the difference is they didn't wait to stop feeling afraid before they acted. They moved with the fear. They said, I'm scared, but I'm going anyway. And that's where strength is built, not in the waiting, but in the walking. You gotta understand, confidence is like a muscle. You don't wake up with it, you gotta build it. And how do you build it? By doing the thing, by showing up. By failing and still standing up. Every time you take action, even if it's messy, even if it ain't perfect, you deposit something into your self-belief. That's how it works. You don't wait on confidence, you earn it. Most people want to feel qualified before they start. But the truth is, the doing is what qualifies you. Nobody got experience before they had to do the job. Nobody was an expert before they got started. They became great after they began, not before. You don't need to have it all figured out. You need to try. You need to get in the game. That's where the confidence comes from. Experience, not imagination. Think about a kid learning how to ride a bike. They don't wait until they feel like a pro. They get on, they fall, they scrape a knee, they cry, but they keep trying. And one day that fear of falling becomes the joy of flying. Same with you. You might stumble, you might mess up, but every time you try, you're building something, and one day you gonna realize, oh wait, I got this now. And you know what else? Confidence don't mean you ain't scared, it just means fear don't run the show no more. You can feel that fear in your chest, but you still move. That's real courage. That's real power. That's when you start living. Ain't nobody ever changed their life by sitting still waiting on confidence to show up like a delivery. It don't work like that. You gotta step into the unknown. You gotta act like you belong before you even feel like you do. That's the cheat code. You act first, the feeling follows later. You're more capable than you know. You just ain't give yourself a chance to see it yet. You too busy trying to feel good before you even begin. But feelings are flaky. Action is solid. When you act, even if you ain't sure, even if your knees shaking, you tell yourself, I got something in me worth bringing to the table. And every time you act again, that voice gets louder, that confidence gets stronger. And before you know it, you're looking back like, oh, look how far I came. And so let go of that lie that says you've got to wait till you're confident. You don't. You just got to be bold enough to start. And what you do, that confidence you were waiting on, it shows up right behind your faith. Every single time. Let me tell you something right now that's going to set you free if you let it. People going to talk whether you succeed, fail, win, lose, start, or stay still. That's just what folks do. Some of them talk to feel better about their own life. Some of it should talk because they too scared to chase their own dreams, so they try to clown yours. But here's the truth. Since they're gonna talk anyway, you might as well give them something to talk about. Make them talk about your grind. Make them whisper about your come up. Let them watch you go from nothing to something. See, too many people stay stuck because they worried about what the neighbors gonna say, what their friends gonna think, what their family gonna whisper. They scared of looking foolish, scared of failing in public. But baby, you already losing if you letting other people's opinions hold the keys to your future. Ain't nobody else responsible for your purpose but you. Ain't nobody else gotta wake up every day with your regrets but you. I'ma be honest, the folks who talk the most, they usually do the least. You ever notice that? The loudest opinions come from the cheapest seats. They ain't on the field, they ain't putting in the work, they ain't sacrificing nothing. They just spectate. So why would you let spectators stop you from playing the game? That don't make no sense. If they ain't feeding you, financing you, or fighting for you, their opinion don't hold no weight. You gotta understand that when you start doing something with your life, when you step out your comfort zone and try to go higher, it makes people uncomfortable. Not because you're wrong, but because you remind them of what they're not doing. Your ambition exposes their excuses. Your effort shows up their laziness. So instead of cheering for you, they try to tear you down. But don't take it personal. It ain't really about you. It's about their own reflection. Now here's the good part. If you keep going, if you keep pushing through all the chatter, all the shade, all the negativity, them same folks that doubted you gonna be the ones saying, I knew you had it in you. That's how it works. People switch up quick when success show up. So don't stop just cause it's quiet now. Keep building, keep moving, and when it's time, let your results make the noise. Don't wait for applause. Don't wait for validation. Don't wait for support. Sometimes you gotta be your own cheerleader, your own hype man, your own round of applause. You gotta clap for your damn self until the world catches on. And when it does, don't gloat, don't flex. Just smile and say, God wasn't done with me yet. You are not on this earth to fit in, to please people, or to tiptoe around other folks' opinions. You here to walk in purpose, to walk in power, to fulfill a calling only you got. And if people got something to say about it, let them talk. Let them doubt, let them laugh, but don't let them stop you. Remember this, the ones who laugh at you today might be the ones begging to work with you tomorrow. So keep building, keep dreaming, keep walking. And while they talk, you walk right into the life they never had the courage to chase. Let me say something that you probably forgot somewhere along the way. That dream you got inside of you, that file, that idea, that vision you keep pushing to the side, that ain't random. That's yours. That was placed in you for a reason. Oh, you didn't just wake up one day and imagine it out of thin air. It's in you because it's meant for you. That's your assignment. That's your calling. And can't nobody else carry that but you. See, too many people walking around acting like their dream is optional. Like it's just some cute little wish they can tuck away when life gets hard. But baby, if it was just a hobby, it wouldn't keep you up at night. It wouldn't pull at you when you try to ignore it. It wouldn't whisper in the back of your mind every time you settle for less than you deserve. That dream is speaking to you for a reason, because it's tied to your purpose. You keep looking around for confirmation, asking people if you think you should go for it. You waiting on your family to understand. You waiting on your friends to co-sign. But let me tell you something straight, they don't need to get it. They weren't in the room when God gave it to you. They weren't there when it lit up in your spirit. It wasn't meant for them. It was meant for you. So stop expecting people to support what they can't see. It's not their job to understand it. It's your job to build it. And I know it's hard. I know sometimes you look at your circumstances and wonder, how could I possibly make this happen? You think you're too old, too broke, too behind, too unqualified. But let me tell you, God don't give vision without provision. That means if he put it in you, he already equipped you with what you need to start. Now, that don't mean you got everything up front. No, sometimes he give you the gift, and the rest comes when you move in faith. You won't see the doors until you start knocking. You won't see the path until you take that first step. You don't need nobody else's permission to walk in your purpose. You already got the green light. You already been approved. But you're sitting at the stop sign waiting for somebody to wave you through. You better hit that gas. You better go get what's yours. That dream didn't show up in your life to tease you. It showed up to guide you. And don't worry about what it looks like now. You might be broke, stuck, overlooked, but that's just your starting point. That ain't your destination. Your dream might look too big for where you at, but that's exactly how you know it came from something higher than you. You're supposed to grow into it. You're supposed to stretch. If it looked easy, it wouldn't require faith. And if it didn't require faith, it wouldn't change you. So stop acting like your dream don't matter. Stop treating it like a plan B. That's your path. That's your purpose. And if you don't walk it, you're gonna live with regret. Not because you failed, but because you never even tried. You were born with something special, something this world needs. And if you don't bring it to life, the world misses out. So hold your head up, tighten your grip, and walk boldly in the direction of what's inside you. Don't let fear, doubt, or people who don't see the vision talk you out of it. That dream is yours. That purpose is real, and it's waiting on you to stop hesitating and start living. Let me talk to you like somebody who cares, because too many folks out here sleeping on their own life. You keep saying that someday I'll start that business, someday I'll write that book, someday I'll chase that dream. But let me ask you, where is someday on the calendar? What day is that? Monday? Friday? June 12th? No, it ain't real. Someday is the biggest lie we ever tell ourselves. And that lie, it's stealing your life while you sit there waiting for everything to be just right. You keep talking about tomorrow like it's guaranteed. like you got time in your back pocket. But listen, life don't come with no promises. Tomorrow ain't promised to nobody. You keep thinking you got time, but time don't wait. It don't pause. Don't slow down for nobody's comfort zone. Every second you wait is a second you wait, never getting back. And if you keep putting things off, one day you're gonna look up and realize all your some days turned into a never minds. Let me tell you something I learned the hard way. Life rewards action, not intentions. Talk is cheap. You can sit around and say all the right things, read all the books, write down goals on paper. But if you don't move, it means nothing. That dream don't care about your perfect timing. It don't care about your schedule. It's sitting there waiting on you to get bold enough to do something. And look, I ain't saying you gotta have it all figured out. You might be scared. You might be broke. You might be stuck in a job you got today. That's enough to get started. That's enough to make a move. That's enough to say, I may not have much, but I'm working with what I got. Because guess what? Most people don't fail because they tried and lost. They fail because they never tried at all. You gotta stop waiting on motivation to show up and start moving with discipline. Start moving with discipline. Start moving with faith. You won't always feel like it, but the ones who succeed, they don't always feel ready. They just show up anyway. That's the secret. You show up tired, you show up scared, you show up not knowing what the outcome's gonna be, but you show up, and every day you do, you're building something inside you. You're proving to yourself that you're serious about this life. Don't let your excuses become your lifestyle. Don't let comfort become your prison. You were made for more than just making it through the week, waiting on a Friday, clocking in and clocking out with a heart full of dreams and no motion. Wait. You weren't put here just to survive. You were built to thrive. But that don't happen if you keep signing louder. Later don't build nothing. Later don't change nothing. Later is the enemy of progress. And the longer you wait, the heavier regret gonna sit on your chest. That's a weight you don't want to carry. That's a pain that don't go away easy. So do yourself a favor. Stop delaying your own breakthrough. You don't need another sign. You don't need another opinion. You need a decision. A made-up mind that says, this is my moment, this is my time. And it starts now. Today is all you got. Today is all you need. Make a move, make it count. Don't talk about it, be about it. Let the world see what happens when a person stops waiting on someday and starts showing up today. Let me close this out real simple. You got one life, just one. And every second you spend waiting, doubting, hesitating, or trying to make everything perfect is a second you ain't getting bad. You ain't here by accident. That dream in your heart, that gift you got, that fire you feel every time you think about doing more, that's real. That's your assignment. That's your purpose calling you out of average and into something greater. But here's the thing. Nothing changes if you don't move. Nothing happens if you don't stop. You ain't gonna wake up one day magically feeling fearless or fully ready. You gotta take the fear with you. You gotta take the doubt with you. You gotta say, I don't have it all figured out, but I'm taking the first step anyway. That's how dreams become real. Not by waiting, by moving. So stop talking about what you're gonna do. Stop waiting on the right move, the right moment, or the right money. Stop waiting on other people to understand your vision. Just start today. Right now, messy, uncertain, imperfect, but start. Because when it's all said and done, it won't be the things you tried that haunt you. It'll be the ones you never had the courage to start. And you too gifted, too chosen, too called to let your whole life be a story of almost.